Hey guys, the name is Kris Barocsi. This is my 4th comment time video. I have a special guest on today's show, my partner in crime on the Thoman's Guitars and Basses channel. Guillaume agreed to read out some of the questions, and we had a nice jam, so you will see some snippets of that. Nick Guitar had an interesting question about my Harley Benton Fusion 2 model, the silver sparkle one. Question: how high are the frets approximately? 1.0, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4 millimeters. I asked because medium jumbo means a lot of things. Let's find it out. I'd say it's 1.4, maybe 1.5. Well, then let's check the width as well. It's gonna be 2.8. Yeah, 2.8.
So this is from Aragonal7. Hello, Kris. 2 S's. Great channel and great videos, man. I have a question. Can I put mini humbuckers on an Epiphone Les Paul Standard with classic humbuckers?
Yes, you can. There's a way, there's a sort of a adapter frame, like pickup ring or frame, whatever you want to call it, which allows you to put a mini humbucker in a guitar that has a normal humbucker routing. Normal humbucker is way wider and also longer, so you need something to fill that gap around a mini humbucker if you want to put it in. But it's possible, but it looks a little weird though, because this frame will be pretty thick on all 4 sides. You know, sound is most important, so if you want to go for that mini humbucker sound, which is I think one of the nicest sounds out there and it's way underrated, go for it. He made me do this.
Such a cool job. Next one is from Chris Franklin. It wouldn't have occurred to me to use the tape before the top coat, but that works so well. Could this be why the Fender Custom Shop relics all look very similar? They could have a masking tape set stencil or template on tape.
Using the masking tape before I applied the last coats, the top coats, is not something I would normally do. But because this bass was a special project and I had this color over color going on, I wanted to make sure I get to see the 3-tone sunburst on areas of the body, and for that I had to cover it up. About Fender Custom Shop using template to Relic, I really don't think they do. These Relic jobs are pretty similar because there are areas on the body where more wear is to be expected. So of course they will, use those areas of the body, in every single case. But there are always small differences. So I don't think it's necessary to use a template because they are not replicating a specific guitar. Maybe they have some like this for like the Stevie Ray Vaughan model, or these kind of like the Rory Gallagher. I could imagine they have some sort of a template to help them relicing these guitars, but those are exact replicas of a specific guitar. Thanks to my job working at Thomann, I get to play hundreds of these guitars, which is awesome, and I appreciate it a lot. It's not like I want to sound like, oh, I've played all, easy. What's nice about it is that you get to see and play and feel so many of these guitars. You sort of see how similar they are. A Strat with a light relic and another Strat with a light relic, they will have many similarities, but they are not at all like copy-paste guitars. Really not.
So this is from Jose Abel, sorry. Awesome video. Any advice on how to listen to a drive pedal to see the difference between those which has the mid hump and those more flat? For me it's not so easy unless it says Tube Screamer or similar. Thanks.
I hope this will help you. So first of all, you could try that pedal you're not sure if it has a mid hump or not, together with another overdrive behind it. So if you play something sort of palm muted and it gets even more focused and tight, it probably has some sort of a bass cut and some sort of a mid hump going on. That is almost always the case, so that might help you. Another really good sort of test is if you have a band or just a couple of buddies to play music with, you just bring that pedal into the rehearsal room and turn it on and off. You of course have to make sure that the volume is on the same level, like without and with the pedal. And then when you start playing, you will notice something. If it has a mid hump, you will hear yourself even better if it's on. If it doesn't have a mid hump, it's flat or even scooped, you will not have this effect. So you will get quieter if it's a scoop one, or it just everything stays the same, which would prove that it's sort of a flat EQ pedal.
This is from Jeffrey Egan. Looks and sounds great. I was wondering if you would get Julia to play it, and there she is. Great job. She is great. I was wondering if you can control the cracking in the finish so more of the underlying pain shows through. Oh, so that more of the underlying pain shows through. Will the cracks open more if you add layers to the clear coat? Great question.
No, you should definitely not put on more and more coats on top. As soon as you have any sort of weather checking, crackles, anything going on due to this clear coat, you should not put anything on top because it will just look messed up and unnatural. This is something that some brands do, especially like more budget brands. If they try to create sort of a Relic guitar, they relic it, then they put the clear coat on top of it, which makes it look even more fake. It's just not pretty, it's not natural, and it will not help at all. So if you have this crackle going on already, let it, that's it. That's your last coat.
Nice video. Question, how does it differ under the fingers? Almost nobody ever talks about this particular topic, especially when evaluating digital stuff as IR, Kemper, Axe effects and so on. I'm not interested in sound as much as what different feel it gives you. Is more muting necessary? Is it easier to play and feel, etc.?
It is a different experience using IRs, or any sort of Kempers, Axe effects, an aux, your amp through the aux or anything like that, the two notes stuff. Because all of a sudden you sound like being mic'd. You know what I mean? You don't only hear the simulation of your speaker, in your guitar cab. You also hear the simulation of a certain mic, or even two mics or three mics. So it feels like you're sitting in the mixing room in a studio and you're hearing yourself through the near-field monitors. If you have any studio experience, you know that sound, you know what I'm talking about. If not, it is something you sort of have to get used to. So it does have pros and cons, and it is a different experience. But if this simulation is top-notch, it doesn't feel worse. It just feels different.
So this is from Victorious_S88, is the coolest YouTube name. Thanks Kris for that great video. At the end there I prefer the aux simulation sound though. When you're playing live with your band, is it mostly cab with mic, aux with cab and mic, or aux direct into PA? As bandmates and sound guys sometimes complain about the loud guitar players. They do. Cut that out.
I'm lucky enough to say I play in a rock band and the drummer is really going for it, you know, and that's the volume on stage. So using my rev head, I can match that volume without any attenuation necessary. If I had to reduce the volume, I would of course use an attenuator. I would probably use the aux to attenuate it a little bit, or even go full line. You know, with in-ear monitoring, it's possible. You will have an incredible sound as well. So, you know, I would not say no to that if necessary.
This one's from Felipe Goma Brockman. Not sure where you're from, mate. What if I have a combo amp? Can I still use the aux box?
No teasers! Yes, you can. It might even happen that the original speaker cable that's plugged in, you know, from your speaker in the combo into the speaker out of the amplifier part of the combo, this might be too short. So you might need sort of a coupler, some sort of an adapter, something to make it longer. That's doable. Also, if you go to a technician, he will make you a longer speaker cable coming from the actual speaker, and then you can connect the aux on top of, sitting on top of the combo.
Okay.
Gabriel Porto says, "Hi Kris, do you think the neck is going to be that flamey on the production models? I've seen some sample of other Fusion 2s with roasted maple necks, and I gotta say, they look okay, but far from this beauty of yours. Wood looks always different, so there are really flamey ones. I see them every now and then in the showroom, you know, in the repair shop or the showroom, and there are some mildly flamey ones, you know. For example, the new, what is it, like T-Type Fusion 2, similar to this one, just the T-Type body and the T-Type headstock. Those were production models and had insane flames on the neck. There's a good chance getting a crazy flamey one, but, you know, there's no guarantee, and it can be mildly flamey up to insane flamey. This is a good one. This came under my Harley Benton Fusion 2 video. Clapstain, oof. I love how this dude acts like he isn't on dozens of other YouTubers' channels shilling for Harley Benton. If you're going to buy this specific Harley Benton and swap pickups, you might as well get a Mexican-made Charvel. It already has better pickups, and everything else about it is higher quality. You can find deals on display models, lightly used ones, for the same price as this plus new pickups. I'm not knocking Harley Benton. They're decent guitars for someone who isn't sure if they will like playing guitar, or someone who likes having several different guitars. I own a Harley Benton HB 35 Plus and a Charvel. I know which videos you mean. And it's not dozens of videos, by the way, it's maybe a handful of videos, all being shot at GitCon 2017, but most probably 2018. The fact is that Harley Benton was there, and I was there shooting videos for the Tomon YouTube channel. And they asked me if I can jump in a video with Louis, the Tone King, if I can sort of show the Harley Benton guitars. Because they didn't have anyone at that point who is sort of, there to represent or just to show off these guitars. So I told like, yeah, sure, why not? Yeah, so that's the story. If you get a used Charvel and compare the price you paid for that with a new Harley Benton with new pickups built in, aftermarket pickups built in, of course you can get to sort of a same price, of course. But that's not really, fair, I guess. If you go for a used Harley Benton with some pickups you bought on Reverb or eBay or whatever, you will pay probably half the money than if you bought a Charvel used. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't buy a Charvel, because I'm a huge fan of the brand, and I think their Mexican factory, the Fender Mexico factory, is incredible. In case you have any questions and you want some answers from me, just use the comment section. That's what it's there for. And otherwise, have an awesome new year. 2020 is soon or is already, I'm not sure, one of those. I guess it's already 2020. In that case, Happy New Year! Rock and roll! See you soon.